But you know I love you. And I know that you love me too. It's just that sometimes love isn't enough.
Hard work, dedication, hard work. I'm a one-man army. One-man army. The world can go against me. I'm still coming on top. I got God on my side.
I don't have nowhere to go and nothing to do. You know what I mean? I used to go fly my pigeons on the roof in New York.
Why can't I worked hard for it? I sweated for it. I didn't steal it. I bled in the gym for it. I beat my body up and I allow people to beat me up. Why shouldn't I have it all? Nobody should take nothing from me.
Everyone likes Mikey better in the Trent Twins,
You don't know that.
But like he's like the Michael Jordan, but I'm the Scottie Pippen, like low key. I'm the Scottie Pippen of the Trent.
There wouldn't be me without you, bro.
Exactly, but people don't. Like I'm slept on, bro.
Like honestly, every single morning I woke up and I was so discouraged with how I looked. I would come home and just lie down all day until it was time to work out. Get the workout out of the way. Go home and fucking lie there and question if I should even be doing this to myself, if I should just give up.
If you asked the coach that cut me when I was in 9th grade if I would be this today, he'd probably say no.
Go after your dreams. Go after them. I never allowed anybody to tell me what I was capable of accomplishing. I never let anybody tell me that I can't do. I went after it. I put all my eggs in one basket. And hopefully they have that same mentality. If you want to accomplish something or do something that a lot of people think is difficult to accomplish, you have to put all your eggs in one basket. And there's no compromise with that.
No, I wasn't truly happy. I mean, I was happy at moments, but it was just routine. Just eat, sleep, train, and repeat. I didn't sit around and say, well, I'm Jay Cutler and people know me or I make X amount of dollars. It's like I had one goal. And
there's something inside me. I don't know what it is. What I see nobody else sees, and sometimes it frightens me. I think I'm losing my mind.
Very few people understand what winning does to an individual's mental health. Winning doesn't make you heartless, but it teaches you to use your heart less. Every decision I've made, I knew what the cost was going to be.
It's free. You don't need to shoot up for it. You don't need to snort. You sweat for it. And then when you leave here, it's an abdominal will is like just been nurtured. You don't think about second place. You think about first, and then the legacy.
Before you get to the gym, you have to promise yourself that you are not going to go home a loser, and you will fight to the death to maintain your promise to yourself. I would rather die than acknowledge to myself that I'm that loser. I do not ever want to go home from the gym going, I'm a loser, I could have done more. There is nothing that I won't do.
Nobody else at the moment has the power to change you unless you have that initial spark and say, I must do something. I don't want this anymore. In order for something new to come, something old must go.
I've never met someone really successful who had a great social life at 20. If that's what you want, that's great. But you're not going to be successful. And don't blame anyone else.
Can't lay in bed at night knowing that at any moment my future could get blown up by my past.
What happens if you achieve the things that you say that you want? What happens if you get there? Just imagine for a second the perennial insecure overachiever optimizer people. What happens if you get there and you still have the same problems? Then what do you do? That's a difficult question.
Studies show that elite athletes who believe that they are stronger, faster, and more skilled perform significantly better, even if nothing physical changes.
I visualize my race over and over. I project my energies down the pool. I feel aggressive. I am fast. I can fly.
They say when you want to kill an alligator, you kill it right after it eats. Because right after it eats, you get satisfied. And it goes to a state like it's almost paralyzed. Some of y'all in this room, when you paralyzed, you had a little success, you done what nobody else in your family has done, and now you chilling.
Ultimate form of revenge for me is success. I'm gonna keep being successful and make you look like shit.
Yeah.
That's what it is if you've done me wrong.
When you realize that if you have the courage to just start and to keep working on whatever it is that you want in life, that your life will change. So don't allow analysis paralysis or other people's opinions to dictate your life. Don't allow that to stop you from living, and stop focusing on how.
The love that these minor league baseball players have, making $1,500 a month, $1,500 a month, which is nothing. But for them, it was big. To see that helped me put things in perspective, to understand the platform that I was on in '93 that when I went back to it in 95 and 96, I appreciated it even greater.
You shouldn't worry about criticism from someone that you would never ask advice from. That quote, and it hit me when I was like 38 years old. It was only a couple years ago. Wish I'd heard that when I was 15, because we care so much about what people think of us and what they say about us. Most of the time it's people that we would never ask for advice from.
There's nothing you're gonna fucking do that's gonna outweigh anything I've already said to myself. That guy sucks, he's ugly, he's fat, he's full of shit. I've already said that. You know?
It's irrelevant what other people say. And once you come to understand that, the noise quiets. If you can understand that it is irrelevant what people gossip, it is irrelevant what they say, it is irrelevant if they laugh, it is irrelevant if they talk shit, and you understand that the only thing is relevant is what you do, you're going to succeed.
And I'm looking at all these people and they're all celebrating my demise and saying I'm done and this, and it certainly lit a fire under my belly. Every single person doubted me. Every single fighter doubted me. Doubt me now.
There's a specific person that you've got to get out of your life right now. It's the person that wants to remind you of who you were. It's the person who wants to remind you of how you used to be, what you used to do, how you used to do it. That used to person's dead. Anybody who wants to resurrect that person cannot be in your life.
Best advice you've ever received?
Work on yourself mentally so you can achieve what everyone.
Your mind, by the way, will never make you happy. The mind is a tool you must use. You can't let it use you, or you will be one unhappy human being, and most people let their mind use them. You are not your mind. You're so much more than your mind. You're your spirit, you're your soul, you're your heart.
Well, you should be afraid of taking risks and pursuing something meaningful, but you should be more afraid of staying where you are if it's making you miserable. It's like the first thing you want to do is dispense with the idea that you get to have any permanent security outside of your ability to contend and adapt.
Once you become fearless, life becomes limitless. What if you weren't afraid of anything? How would your life have changed?
How can you be a fighter if you're not afraid? Fighters have to understand the concept of dealing with fear. Fear is our friend. Fear is like fire. You know what I mean? If you're afraid of it and you let it get out of control, it can destroy you and everything around you. But if you control it, it can cook food for you, it can heat you, keep you warm. It can be your friend, it can fight for you.
Out there with a knife. You can't kill me. I believe that with all my heart. You can't fucking kill me. I'm one of the last Neanderthal bad motherfuckers still around. And if you think I'm bad now, you should have seen me 25, 30 years ago.
If you don't see what I do every single day, then I can't pay attention to what you say about me every single day. You don't know what time I wake up. You don't know how often I train. You don't know what I put my body through.
No matter what it could be, if you have one thing that you know and like you think about it and it comes up and you're not doing it because you want someone else's approval or anything else, it's because you know, like, oh, I used to do this when I was younger. I really liked it. I had a really good aptitude for it. I don't know why I stopped doing it.
I used to tell myself specifically, I cannot be fucking broke. We struggled a lot growing up, and I saw how hard my dad was working his ass off. We traveled all around. And so for me, it was, I cannot be broke. I don't want that for them, and I don't want that for my family.
You're up 2-0. What's the story? Are you not happy, or you're only half happy, or?
Still to be happy about.
Get on top of that mountaintop in your mind. Get on top of that mountaintop and look down on what you're doing. You can see a whole different world. That world is beautiful, but you gotta get a different vantage point in the suck. Your brain's amazing. Once you feed it the right conversation, the right mental nutrients, the right mental supplements, the right internal dialogue at the right time, with the right hit, with the right proof of what you've done in the past, and you send that right to the right circuit, dude, you're a fucking beast. A beast.
Think of the lessons you can learn from it immediately. Train your brain to extract what valuable information, what research and development is coming from the pain, so you never experience it again, so you can make it better for the next time, so you can use that as your fuel to blast off to your next level of life rather than the anchor that holds you back. So let's think about that.
You have to stop complaining, not just out loud, but in your own mind too. Marcus Aurelius said, let no one overhear you complaining, not even yourself. Complaining doesn't make things better, it only makes you feel worse.
Like Cuss would always say, there's a difference between the coward and the hero. They both feel the same, they're both scared and nervous. It's just one lets his feelings get the better and devour him like the coward. And then he runs and hides. When the hero feels the same way, but he fights the feelings off. And he goes on to accomplish being a hero.
I think, just because I'm calm doesn't mean that I'm not ruthless.
I actually don't show up because I'm always there. My mind is always on this. It never shuts off. I can never stop thinking about this game. You know what I'm saying? I'd look at a movement and think of another movement. You know?
Right.
That's what my mind is always on it.
God tests you. He tests you and see how much this you can take before you say, let's just be finished with this. You want to see how much you can take, how much you can handle. Life is beautiful, but you have to accept the good and the bad as being beautiful.
You should push yourself beyond your limits of tolerance in your 20s to find out where it is. How much can you work? How disciplined can you become? Like, can you work 12 hours a day? Can you work 8 hours a day? Can you work 3 hours a day? Like, flat out. Where's your limit? And how much work can you do and how much socialization? You should find out.
You got to believe first. If you don't believe first, then you ain't gonna never get to where you're trying to get to. I knew I was better than every other fighter. And to this day, that it would never be a fighter better than me, never. Because you got guys that got 200 fights, 300 fights, but just in 50 fights, I beat more world champions than any fighter.
There's certain people in life that when you offend, you have to know it's a permanent offense. It's not a 6-month sentence. It's not a 12-month sentence. It's not a 36-month sentence. You offended the guy, that's a permanent life sentence. He's coming for your throat, and he's never gonna slow down.
You must be able to see it, Mr. Anderson. You must know it by now. You can't win. It's pointless to keep fighting. Why, Mr. Anderson? Why? Why do you persist?
Because I choose to. There's a lot of people that they're not that aware of how much time they're wasting. They're not aware of how much energy they're wasting thinking about other people, constantly dwelling on the hating and all the stupid shit. And they don't realize that they're stealing from their own life.
They're way behind talking shit to you, who's leading the pack, or they're way below talking shit up to you. Again, who's leading the pack. So let them all talk shit, let them all make their noise, because at the end of the day, you are the only one who has the guts. We have the guts to go to work and show up every single fucking day, day in and day out.
Today I'm running. A lot of people stopping, saying stay hard. This one cat drives by, says, Goggins, I hate your black ass. Lucky for me, there's a stoplight right up the motherfucking street. Car stops, I pull up to it. Got a chance to assess the scene. Look in there, sees a big Thanksgiving eating motherfucker. So I grabbed myself and said, hey, ask your mama who your real daddy is. We all got our own opinions. Voice them. Stay hard.
There's not a motherfucker that's up. There's not a car, there's not a person. Everybody's in their bed, sleep, dreading that it's a Monday. Hate it's a Monday. And I'm loving it. I'm loving that. Where everybody's getting weaker, I'm getting stronger. It's not about the running, the swimming, the push-ups, the sit-ups. It's about what those things do for your mentality.
And if you give yourself just a little bit of time, and if you be a little more loving to yourself, I think you're gonna find you got a lot to give. I can fucking feel it.
Surround yourself with hunters, those on the relentless pursuit to capture and kill, those working hard to capture their dreams, goals, and highest selves, those working hard to kill their distractions, weaknesses, and lowest selves. Those are known as the few.
When that day comes I can't run, I'll be a grateful motherfucker knowing I gave every fucking bit I could. I drained the tank, and when the tank was drained, I went to look for more. I'm not crazy, motherfuckers. I'm just not you.
So many of us choose our path out of fear disguised as practicality. What we really want seems impossibly out of reach and ridiculous to expect, so we never dare to ask the universe for it. I'm saying that you can ask the universe for it.
If you develop the ability to adhere, and you develop discipline, and you practice it over and over and over again, there's literally nothing that you can't become, create, or build if you win day by day by day.
You have to understand that you're either going to be average or great. And where you're at right now is where most people stop. So I'm asking you right now, do you want to be great? If so, keep going. Head down. I promise you you'll get there. And if you want to be average, quit lying to yourself. Go back to doing your average shit.
And when you can do that, man, when you start seeing the future, you're willing to sacrifice today for that kind of opportunity to mature into a reality, man, you're really thinking the right way. You're that person that sees the journey ahead as, yes, we still have a long way to go, but man, we sure have come a long way up to now. Most people quit because they focus on how far to go still, never realizing how far they've already come.
But knowing this, preparing yourself, learning the right ways, or useful ways that are developing yourself physically and mentally to be able to walk through this lifetime. That's possible. That is something that is available to us.
It was brutal. It's a brutal journey every fucking day. And if everybody goes, well, are you happy? If anybody knows my life story, and I'll try to give you just a snippet of it, where I'm at today is in front of Joe Rogan telling you my life. To get through where I became, to get through where I'm at now, there's nothing but pride I have for myself that I can't really show people.
First of all, this is what it takes. Are you prepared to do this? Are you going to do this? Yes or no? You're going to let yourself down? You're going to be a pussy? You're going to be weak?
So this year, we don't got to get called out. We're going to call ourselves out. You got to have somebody tell you you ain't practicing right. You know that stuff ain't elite. Stop doing it.
So take my fucking advice, please, and eat 6 to 10 meals a day and start growing. Start getting those results. And stop asking stupid fucking questions because we all know the goddamn answers. How do I fucking get bigger? You fucking eat more.
Do you really think I'm afraid of you?
Man, that's fine. Okay, no, I don't.
You think I'm afraid of you, man? Are you crazy in your head, man? I'm not scared of you. You'll see Saturday if I'm scared of you.
All right.
And like I told you, if I never made $1 and I was on my quest to be Mr. Olympia, I still would have done it.
Who you are is more important than what you do. How high you jump, how fast you run, because who you are is your character. And your character is an accumulation of your thoughts, your habits, and your priorities on a day-to-day basis, because those three things determine the choices you make, and the choices you make you who you are.
Yes, it's going to take years. Yes, it's going to be really hard. But what the fuck were you planning on doing instead? Because here's the thing, you already know it's going to take years. You already know it's going to be hard, uncomfortable, and slow. That's not the problem. The problem is that deep down, part of you is still hoping there's a shortcut. But there isn't. Fuck your talent, fuck your luck, fuck your intelligence. Just show up every day. You either want it or you don't, so which is it? Consistency doesn't fucking lie. If you're not winning, you're not consistent. Consistency wins.
You want to get outside of yourself and simply observe, right? And not be thinking about yourself as much.
The gym shouldn't be a to-do. The gym should be a I get to do, like a fun part. If you miss a workout because you're traveling or whatever, you shouldn't feel anxiety of, crap, I missed a lift. Fuck. I think it's just a better thought process to really just highlight, hey, I wanted to work out today.
I would rather fall short of a big goal and consider myself a failure than lower the goals to the level which I can accomplish all of them just so I can feel like I'm a success. And it's less about the goal setting, and it's more about the mindset of being okay being the failure.
If you ask the coach that cut me when I was in 9th grade if I would be this today, he'd probably say no. You work hard, keep your head down, you try to do the right things, and you try to have like the right intentions out there, like anything can happen for you.
Dream big, dare to dream, because everything is possible. Don't let anybody take away the dream. Doesn't matter where you're coming from. I actually think that the more disadvantaged childhood you have, the more difficulties and more challenges you have, the stronger you become.
Don't wait until they tell you you are ready. Get in there. Sing. Because the world might say you are not allowed to yet. I waited a long time out in the world before I gave myself permission to fail.
Ever wonder why Kobe Bryant was fearless in the clutch? How John Jones could lose 4 rounds in a row and knock his opponent out in the 5th? It's not talent. They expected to win, and their brain wired their body to match that expectation. If you don't believe you're capable of winning, your brain literally slows you down, weakens your muscles, and makes you hesitate in big moments.
Like you look at somebody like Steph Curry, and you see this guy, to shoot the ball from almost half court, trumping on the side of his thing, and he doesn't even look. He turns around and just waves because he knows it's in already, and there's swish, and the crowd goes crazy. But what they don't pay attention to is that isn't like a little gift. He shoots 500 shots every single day, never less than that, 7 days a week, for more than 15 years. His 15-year professional career. He's been doing it since before he was in college. His dad really trained him.
What happened? And Buster Douglas said, listen to me, it's real simple. Before my mother died, she told the whole world that I was going to beat Mike Tyson. And 2 days before the fight, my mother died. He had a decision to make. When his mother died, he could die with his mother, or he made a decision, I can wake up and I can live for mom. And he knocked Mike Tyson out.
There's only one lesson you will learn from going half-assed, and that is that you should have done more. That's all you'll learn, because one thing about being an athlete is that you will lose the ability, but you can gain the mentality.
Wow. What I've learned is to always keep going. Always. There's been times, particularly early in my career, where it just feels like this is the end. But what I've come to find out is that, no matter what happens, the storm eventually ends. And when the storm does end, you want to make sure that you're ready. And so I've really learned to put one foot in front of the other, good, bad, or indifferent, because eventually that storm passes.
Compare yourself to who you were yesterday, not to who someone else is today. So the question is, who should you defeat in the final analysis? And the answer is, you should defeat your former self. You should be constantly trying to do that. And you're the right control for yourself too, because you're the one who's had all your advantages and disadvantages. And so if you want to compete fairly with someone, then you should be competing with you.
When you just accept that life is hard, you just accept that you're gonna be uncomfortable, you're gonna have things blindside you, you're gonna have to go through a bunch of crap you wouldn't have planned to do, it's harder than you wanted it to be. You stop imagining that there's some state of homeostasis where you're just comfortable. That doesn't exist for any human.
People create their own realities, and they discount their ability to create their own realities. And so they're creating their reality by default without realizing it. We see so many people that live a miserable life, but then you talk to them and you listen to them talk, and what do they talk like? They talk like a miserable person, and they expect the worst.
I was always on track with everything. Everything was structured. I lived in a fucking box in order to be the best.
I have wrestled with an alligator. I have tussled with a whale. I have handcuffed lightning, thrown under in jail. Man, only last week I murdered a rock, injured a stone, hospitalized a brick. I'm so mean I make medicine sick. Bad.
I'll be declared as the greatest of all time.
At some point, everything's gonna go south on you. Everything's gonna go south, and you're gonna say, this is it. This is how I end. Now you can either accept that, or you can get to work. You just begin. You do the math. You solve one problem. Then you solve the next one. And then the next. And if you solve enough problems, you get to come home.
And when you fail, when it doesn't work out, you're going to learn a lot from that. Maybe it wasn't what you really wanted to do. Maybe it really wasn't your passion, or you made a couple of mistakes. You build yourself back up and you go for it again.
And when you fight average alone, what comes out is a fucking savage, a dog, a beast, a monster. And I also know that if I take my finger off that trigger, that monster dies. The beast dies. The savage dies.
The game will take everything you have. And if you want to win at a mediocre level, it'll take less. If you want to win at the highest level, it's going to take more. And that's the way the fucking cookie crumbles when it comes to this. And you can argue about it, you can bitch about it, you can judge it. I don't give a but that is the way it is.
And the one that changed my life was the Secret, the Law of Attraction, the book on the Law of Attraction.
The Secret is about the law of attraction. I discovered this book when I was probably about 19, and I was living in a little flat in Manchester. Life had got quite difficult, and it basically talks about the law of attraction and the power of the mind and picturing something and almost believing that you've got it before it's even happened.
Us in the military, we go on these instructor-led runs. Most of the time we knew the start and end point. So on the way back, I start seeing people getting happy and shit because the end was near. But there were some asshole instructors that would hear the happiness and go right on past the end point. When that happened, everybody stopped talking. Heads would start dropping. And I start taking fucking souls.
You your lottery ticket. I'm gonna say it one more time. Don't act like you need a break. I need a big break. You are the big break. There is no big break coming to you. When you were born, you were fearfully and wonderfully made. God did not make a mistake when he made you. You are the break.
Right, so it was exciting. I mean, it sucks to lose, but at the same time, their answer is there if you just look at them. It's exciting when you win, it's exciting when you lose, because the process should be exactly the same, whether you win or you lose. As you go back and you look and you find things that you could have done better, you find things that you've done well that worked, figure out how did they work, why did they work, how can you make them work again.
At that time, I knew what happened in their minds. They were living off the hope factor. They hoped the instructors would stop running. They hoped the water was never cold. They hoped the weather was fucking good. I don't live off that hope shit. I wish the water was cold. I wish them motherfucking instructors keep on fucking running. I wish for fucking rain.
Right, because ego kills dreams. Yeah. You think that you know, I'm following my dream, but your ego is actually turning that shit into a nightmare. Yeah. Because you don't understand that I gotta figure out how to stay in here. It's only so much room in this room. It's only so much space in this room, you know what I mean? And the room don't get bigger.
You have a moral obligation to your future self to be stupidly delusional with your goals, because to put it simply, you will never build an extraordinary life with ordinary plans. You don't get lucky and arrive there by chance. Nobody accidentally achieved their dream life. You get there by deciding you belong there and systematically removing every obstacle between you and where you're going.
Everybody want to start at the top and everybody want to ball off the rip. Off the rip, everybody. Know what I mean? That's cool, but shit, what you doing for yourself? Is you gonna put in the work to ball off the rip? Is you putting in the work right now to ball off the rip? Or is it just all on somebody else to make you ball off the rip?
I run at 5:30 in the morning because it's dark out and I always assume that my opponent's still sleeping, and that gives me extra strength, extra confidence. Just fucking running, just fucking diesel, square-headed, destroying machine, fast twitch, muscle fiber, and angst. And finally in his life, he's become special after years of neglect. And that special talent is knocking motherfuckers out.
Mike Tyson said, "Oh, your knockouts is spectacular." You know what that means? All this good stuff happening to you. You know what that means? That you're favored by God. You know that, right? Yeah. And Francis went, "Wow." And he goes, "Here's the bad news. When you're favored by God, you're also favored by the devil. You're one of the devil's favorites, too. Ooh. And you gotta leave with the guy you came with. You stay with who brought you here. You go home with the guy that brought you to the dance. Because he's looking to take you home, too."
A blade does not become strong. It does not become tempered until it's been through the fire. Until it's been through the fire several times. And this is just your first or second time through the fire. And there's a lot of hammer work that has to take place. And then you're going to have to go back in the forge again. And it's hot. And it melts you down and you're uncomfortable. And then life is going to pull you out and it's going to put you on the anvil and it's going to hammer on you some more. And you're going to say, "What? Am I done yet? Am I a sword for the ages?" No. No, you're not.
What would you like people to think about you when you've gone?
I'd like for them to say he took a few cups of love. He took 1 tablespoon of patience, 1 teaspoon of generosity, 1 pint of kindness. He took 1 quart of laughter, 1 pinch of concern, and then he mixed willingness with happiness. He added lots of faith, and he stirred it up well. Then he spread it over a span of a lifetime, and he served it to each and every deserving person he met.
I live in the moment because that's the only thing we have in our lives are moments in time. And as soon as I've gone out that door, we can never reverse back and play it again. Because it's real life, it's not a dress rehearsal. So I don't really care what happens 5 minutes ago. I'm just going to keep going today and living today.
When I get old and I'm on my deathbed, I don't want to look back to my 20s and say, "Man, what if I would have took that chance? What if I would have just started? What if I would have took the first step?" Taking the first step got us exactly to where we are today. You take a chance to do some shit that you love or some shit that you saw in a dream, it could change your life
Don't forget, the passage of time stops for no one. So try your damnedest to capitalize on it when you know that you can. The last thing you want to do is fast forward 5 years, 10 years, however many years, and think to yourself, holy crap, I probably should have spent those years doing something a little bit different.
One life. Just one. Why aren't we running like we're on fire towards our wildest dreams? I got one shot at this life. I'd rather you call me crazy and a dreamer than a settler, or not know me at all.
You're paying a price by sitting there being miserable. You might say, well, the devil I know is better than the one I don't. Don't be so sure of that. The clock is ticking. And if you're miserable in your job now and you change nothing, in 5 years, you'll be much more miserable and you'll be a lot older.
Two things we get every day. That's a chance and a choice. Let's put more value on the choices that we make, because our choices is what determine our destination.
Along the way, you're going to need to do things you don't want to do or might not think you can do. It's okay to be scared. It's natural to doubt yourself. But if you can push through that and do what needs to be done, you'll do just fine.
Then one day, just like that, we shut our eyes for the last time, and that would be it. Game over. Now imagine you knew that was coming and you had a couple minutes before you closed your eyes. Do you think you'd look back happy? And yet we're still scared to truly live. But the odds of you being born are 1 in 400 trillion. But the odds of death? Certain. Yet we treat life like the certainty. Tomorrow always comes, right? Wrong.